Sophia stared at the piece of paper. It was just a piece of paper, but it made her hands sweat. She had just finished a delicious meal, a cheeseburger, and a strawberry milkshake. Her waiter, a young man named Tyler, had been wonderful. He had refilled her water glass 5 times. He had called her Miss. He had smiled the whole time. But now, the meal was over. The bill was on the table. The total was $24. Sophia looked at the bottom of the receipt. There was a blank line. Next to the line, it said, "Tip or gratuity." Sophia's mind raced. In her home country, she just left a few coins on the table. But this was America. She knew the rules were different. Is $1 enough? She thought. Is $5 too much? She looked up. Tyler was watching her from across the room. He was waiting. Sophia grabbed her pen. She felt like she was taking a math test that she hadn't studied for. If she wrote the wrong number, she wouldn't just be cheap, she would be rude. But before we find out if Sophia passes the test. Hello, travelers and food lovers. Welcome back. I am your teacher, and today we are going to talk about money again. But not just coins and bills. We are talking about etiquette. In this episode, you will learn English by listening to the story of Sophia, a student who faces the most confusing part of American culture, tipping. Why do Americans tip so much? How do you calculate it? And what happens if you don't pay? To help you understand the story, we are going to focus on 3 specific power words that you will hear today: gratuity, customary, and split the bill. Are you hungry for some knowledge? Let's find a table. Sophia had been living in San Francisco for 2 months. She loved the Golden Gate Bridge. She loved the ocean. But she was terrified of restaurants. In Italy, where Sophia was from, the price on the menu was the final price. If the pasta cost €15, you paid €15. The service was included. The waiters were paid a full salary. But in the United States, she learned that things were complicated. On a Friday night, Sophia decided to go out for dinner with her new American friend, Mark. They went to Benny's Burger Joint. It was loud, colorful, and smelled like fried onions. Let me describe the atmosphere. It was lively. The waiters were running around carrying heavy trays of food. They were working very hard. They sat down in a red booth. Their waiter, Tyler, came over immediately. "Hi guys. How are we doing tonight? Can I start you off with some drinks?" Tyler was extremely energetic. He smiled so much that Sophia wondered if his face hurt. In Europe, waiters were polite but professional. In America, waiters acted like they were your best friend. Sophia ordered her burger. Mark ordered a sandwich. The service was fast. Tyler brought extra napkins. He asked if the food was okay. He was attentive. To be attentive means to pay close attention to someone's needs. Tyler was very attentive. He noticed when Sophia's water was empty before she even noticed it herself. When they finished eating, Tyler cleared the plates. "Can I get you guys anything else? Maybe some cheesecake?" "No, thank you," Mark said. "Just the check, please." "You got it," Tyler chirped. "I'll bring that right out." A minute later, Tyler dropped the black folder on the table. "Whenever you're ready." "No rush," he said, and walked away. Mark reached for the check. "I can pay," Mark said. No, Sophia insisted. "You paid last time. Let's split the bill." To split the bill means to divide the cost. Sometimes you split it 50/50ths. Sometimes you pay for exactly what you ate. Sophia wanted to pay for her own burger. Mark nodded. Okay. We can put 2 cards down. He opened the folder. The total for the whole table was $48. Okay, Mark said. So that's $24 each. Plus gratuity. Sophia froze. There was that word. Gratuity. Gratuity is a formal word for tip. It comes from the word grateful or gratitude. It is money you give to show you are thankful for the service. Sophia looked at Mark. Mark, she whispered. I have a question. In Italy, we just leave a few coins. Maybe 1 or 2 euros. Is that okay here? Mark's eyes went wide. He looked shocked. Oh no, Mark said seriously. Sophia, you definitely cannot do that here. If you leave $2 on a $24 meal, Tyler will think you hated the food. Or he will think you are angry at him. But why? Sophia asked. The burger was expensive. Why do I have to pay his salary? Mark sighed. He put his credit card on the table and leaned in to explain. In America, Mark said, waiters are paid a very low base wage. Sometimes, it is only $2 or $3 an hour. The law allows the restaurant to pay them less, because the government expects them to earn tips. The tip is their salary. It is customary to pay extra. Let me clarify that. Customary means it is a tradition, or a normal practice. It isn't a law, you won't go to jail if you don't tip, but it is a very strong social rule. If something is customary, everyone expects you to do it. Sophia felt embarrassed. She didn't know the waiter's salary was so low. She looked at Tyler, who was cleaning another table. He looked tired. He was working hard to earn his money. Okay, Sophia said. I understand. I want to be fair. So how much is the right amount? Is there a formula? Mark smiled. Yes. There is a secret code. Sophia is about to learn the secret math of American dining. But before Mark reveals the code, let's look at the power words we just heard. Word number 1, gratuity. This is the formal term for a tip. You will see this printed on receipts. Example, for groups of 6 or more people, an 18% gratuity is automatically added to the bill. Word number 2, customary. This describes something that is usual, normal, or traditional in a specific culture. Example, in Japan, it is customary to bow when you greet someone. Word number 3, split the bill. This means to share the cost of a meal between different people. Example, the dinner was expensive, so we decided to split the bill 3 ways. Okay. Sophia has her calculator ready. Let's learn the math. Okay, Mark said. Here is the rule. For standard service, 15% is the minimum. For good service, 18% to 20% is normal. For amazing service, you can give more. Sophia looked at her receipt. Her share was $24. I am bad at math, Sophia laughed. How do I calculate 20% in my head? There is a trick, Mark said. Look at the tax. Mark pointed to the receipt. At the bottom, there was a line for sales tax. In this city, the tax is about 8 or 9%. So, if you want to leave a good tip, about 18 or 20%, you just look at the tax number and you double it. Sophia looked. The tax on her meal was roughly $2. So, Sophia said. If I double the tax, that is $4. Exactly, Mark said. $4 or $5 is a perfect tip for a $24 meal. It's easy math. Double the tax. Alternatively, Mark explained the 10% trick. Move the decimal point one spot to the left, Mark said. If the bill is $24, then 10% is $2.40. So 20% is double that, $4.80. Sophia smiled. It made sense now. It wasn't random guessing. It was a system. She took the pen. On the line that said gratuity, she wrote, $5. She wrote the total, $29. She signed her name at the bottom. She felt a sense of relief. She wasn't just paying for food, she was paying for the experience. She was paying for Tyler's energy, his speed, and his kindness. They stood up to leave. Tyler rushed over to the table. He picked up the signed receipts. He looked at the bottom number. Thank you so much, guys. Tyler said. And this time, his smile looked real. It wasn't just a customer service smile. It was a grateful smile. Have a wonderful night. Come back and see us. We will, Sophia said. Sophia and Mark walked out into the cool night air. Sophia felt proud. She had navigated a difficult cultural situation. You know, Sophia said to Mark. It is strange. In Italy, the waiter has a job. But here, it feels like the waiter is a partner in the meal. If I enjoy it, he succeeds. That's one way to look at it, Mark laughed. Or you can just say that American restaurants are cheap, and make the customers pay the wages. Sophia laughed. Maybe both. She checked her wallet. She had spent a little more money than she planned. But she didn't feel cheated. She felt like she belonged. She understood the rules of the game. Sophia learned that tipping isn't just about math. It is about acknowledging the human being who served you. In the US, leaving a good tip is the best way to say thank you. The moral of the story is this: respect the customs of the place you visit, even if they cost a few extra dollars. Now, I have a controversial question for you. Do you think tipping should be mandatory, or should restaurants just pay waiters a higher salary? This is a big debate in America right now. Tell me your opinion in the comments below. If you want to master American culture and speak English with confidence, click subscribe and hit the bell. In the next episode, we are going to learn about how to haggle and bargain at a flea market. A place where you definitely don't have to pay full price. Thank you for listening. Calculate your gratuity, check the total, and I'll see you in the next story.